Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning and welcome. We are here on Psychic Brunch, which had no time to get used to its name before Laura gave it a nickname, also
I'm
known
so
as
sorry. It's called Second Breakfast.
it's Psychic Second Breakfast, or we could even develop it into being the pre-lunch.
Pre-lunch, 11's.
Pre-lunch snack, 11s. So welcome to Psychic Brunch for the moment. I am Inbaal, and this there is Laura Delegan, and we're going to take you through the next hour in what is lunchtime in the UK. But if you're watching us from the US, it could be insanely early in the morning, or even more insanely early in the morning.
Breakfast.
Yes, breakfast prep, or
Yeah.
or a late night snack. Um, what
It's all
did
food related, basically. Just as long as it's food
what did
related.
your household used to call like a very late night meal?
Illegal?
Yeah.
We weren't allowed late meals, I think. I'm not sure.
Okay. So where my husband grew up, because I'm not English, my husband is. Where he grew up, it's actually mandatory. Because I think maybe because of the war, the family was scared that you might, die of hunger in the middle of the night. So after tea, which is the sort of evening meal, they also have supper, which is
Supper.
like
Yeah.
crackers and cheese, right? And you eat it in your pajamas in front of the TV, just to make sure that you don't, God forbid, go to sleep on an empty stomach.
Yeah, I love that. Supper does sound familiar. Yeah, definitely. I think only at
Right.
Christmas, because you've not had enough food at Christmas anyway. We have to have more cheese because they're not
Cheese goes
stuffed enough.
off. Cheese goes
Just in
off.
case.
It's good sense to get cracking with it. We've actually already got a couple of hellos. So if you're watching us on the Bigfoot Outlaw Network, on the YouTube, on the Facebook, wherever you might be watching us, don't be shy. Drop us a hello, drop us a message. And if you're watching us on any other channel, come and drop us a hello on the YouTube channels, sorry, on the Bigfoot Outlaw channel. But we have a very special hello from
Oh,
Jalian, who is our buddy on social media. Great to see you. Thank you so much for supporting.
morning.
And look what we've got. We've got a hello from Prospecting USA. It's 5:34 in the morning in Anniston, Alabama. Thank you
Wow.
so much. I'm really curious whether you stayed up all night or whether you wake up
Yeah.
at +5. When you do like an early shift for Psychic TV, or any other, and you catch the bus and it's like 6, and you've got that beautiful intersection of people going home from like hospital night shifts, and people sort of just starting, say, a builder's shift.
Yeah, or drunk from the night before.
Yeah, it's a lot of drunkies. Right. Prospecting.
Bless you.
Prospecting is saying both up all
Oh,
night and early in the morning. Now, you
good
might
luck.
not be
May
able
the
to
force be
know,
with you. Yeah.
we were like alive and kicking in the 90s. So we remember those days
Yeah.
of, staying up all night and then for the rest of the day afterwards. Do you know, last week when we launched the show, I said something about how we did a lot of stuff when we were both in our 20s. And then I went home thinking, not home, went upstairs thinking, wait, that doesn't add up. I was literally like 5 minutes to 30 when I
I
met
think when
you.
I met you, you're just turning 30. Yeah, like just about to turn 30. Yeah.
Just about to turn 30. And then I thought, did I leave you confused? Because you're good at numbers. Did I leave you
I think you
confused?
did, but I thought afterwards, I thought, what? I knew you for 5 minutes when you were 20 something. So
I suppose, but we didn't really get to do very much. And I thought if you were thinking, was I lying about my age then, or am I lying about my age now? No, just really struggling with adding up at times.
that's me normally. Yeah.
Yeah. So I can see that quite a few of you are actually watching. If you haven't popped in to say hi, do not be shy.
No.
We have a fabulous topic that we want to chat to everybody about
Yes. And
today.
maybe also why people have been not sleeping so well as well. That full moon is a coming, is what the topic
Yes.
is going to be about. And there's a lot of astrological activity. And I think everyone's a bit like, huh? Boom. I'm
Yeah.
awake.
Yeah,
So
it's
it
a
could be
very,
that as
very
well as
intense moment. So we've got the full moon tomorrow.
tomorrow. Yeah, 15.
I,
Yes.
I think for America, it's tomorrow afternoon. For here
Yeah.
in the UK, it's tomorrow night. But it's all the same. And it is a super moon. And on Monday night, I was sort of running underneath it. No, much slower. I was running underneath it, like
No, I
more
like
like that. And it was already so bright and so huge. So the energies of the full moon have been gathering for days.
Yeah.
Have you been feeling it?
Definitely. My dreams last night were just insane. You know, it was just like, okay, right, here we go. But also, we've got the Pluto sign transition next week. So it's like the end of an era as well as a full moon completing things. So I think people are feeling really like either lots coming up to be dealt with or that something's about to shift. And yes, you were right on both of those counts, that it is that time.
Yeah, both. And it can be felt, or it is felt on the personal level. So you'll feel it in your own life, but you'll also see it acting out globally, where we've got, like, we don't do politics on the show, but there are global changes that cannot be ignored, and they very much show the transition between that Capricorn that Capricorn Pluto energy into Aquarius. And I'll tell you, when the transition started, so it's like 2.5 years since since the Capricorn Pluto, exactly. The Capricorn Pluto went into Aquarius, then back, then into Aquarius, then back, and now it's going to sort of settle there. But for that whole period of dance, I was really excited in the beginning because I have a lot of affinity with Aquarius. And I think, the age of Aquarius should bring us justice and, a lot of gifts to humanity. But this toing and froing period, I would say, hasn't really proved itself quite the... Yes, it has. I was going to say it's not quite been the paragon, but I think bugger would be, really, really accurate.
But yeah, and there's also like, I keep seeing all these memes on like social media about, if you're a cardinal sign, as I am, it's okay, it's about to change, I'm like, yeah, but then my moon's in Aquarius, so it'd be a whole new level of other things to deal with. It's like, yeah, one lot of stuff might shift, but we're going to invite a whole new other level of things that are going
exactly. And Aquarians don't really love being the leaders. Aquarians love propping up the leaders and being the ones that sort of say, well, this is unjust and this is, overlooking somebody. And this period, I think this Pluto in Aquarius is going to force Aquarians to get on the podium and to be leading movements. And I would say they're not super interested. No.
Yeah. We'll see how that pans out. Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, Prospecting USA. I thought this was going to be Chris. Oh, yeah, Chris is asleep now. Chris, who runs the whole channel, he is in Kentucky, where it would be, I think, 6:40 a.m. right now. So I'm hoping he's asleep because he was sort of still presenting shows well past what was midnight for us. Roger Blair is here saying howdy and good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Roger. So with the full moon, it's the 4th consecutive supermoon. 4th. So August was a supermoon. Big, huge energies, big transformations. September, October, and now November. Getting close to the end of it. But this is the final supermoon, and it is in Taurus. Any Taurians watching?
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, I think it's also it's Beaver moon.
It's yeah, which it never get tired from saying beaver. It's Beaver moon, and you know what's funny? It's also like the frost moon, the freezing moon, the morning moon.
Yeah, I think that all sounds a bit more likely than Beaver moon, but
Beaver,
I quite like
yeah. There's, I don't know, I was kind of pushing back against the trend of using Native American names internationally. You know, bad enough to be using them there, but I kind of love them because they're so evocative and poetic.
Yeah, and also beavers are being returned into the UK, so there is something of like that kind of celebrating. They're trying to return them to the UK anyway. There's a few beavers around. I think it's hard when they're not even in the land, isn't it? When we can sort of say these names and we just go, we haven't got those animals, so that feels really weird. But actually, it's nice to know that they're being brought back into the UK. And
I didn't know that. No, what do you know? What do you know? You're much more inside the animal activism than me.
I don't know anything else about anything, but animals, yeah, I can tell you what's happening there.
Exactly. No, I know that I'm asking the right person. So what do we know? Is there a movement on purpose, or is it just
to bring them back in? It's mostly like down in Devon and a little bit in Exmoor and Somerset area, so it is down this end. But there is signs that they are that it is working, that they are taking to the land again after being extinct or being a long time. And I did hear something about London as well, so I don't know if there's been a program there to bring them, to rehabilitate them into the wild. But I know that in the southwest that there's beavers being brought back and that they seem to be doing pretty well. So yeah, I'm excited about that.
That's wonderful. So happy Beaver Moon to the UK beavers. I was really excited
Moon
about
sounds very right. Feels very right for how it's going.
Yeah, exactly. And when I was sort of trying to figure out why it was the Beaver Moon, I could see that it was because this is when the beavers were building their dams, but Google said that it could also be because this is when the beaver hunters would lay their traps for the beavers. And I was like, we want to be certain exactly what we're honoring here.
Yeah.
And B, I walked around for like a couple of days going, which would it be? Which would it be? And then I figured, oh no, they would be at the same time because beaver hunters know
because
exactly.
you'd know where they'll be doing. You'd know they'd be there building the den, so you'd know where they are. So yeah. But I'm all for protecting all of the boo-boos. All of the boo-boos.
Absolutely. And when the animals are trying to kill each other, that's cool. That's their business. That's their business. Prospecting is saying, ladies, what is your thoughts on Bigfoot and Dogman? I'll be honest, not our specialty.
Not
here
my specialty.
On the channel.
I'm quite curious what a Dogman is, though. I'm quite curious about Dogman. You see, we don't know much about it. I don't even know what Dogman is. I'm going to have to look it up later.
I think it's a type of Bigfoot. So here on the channel, there's a whole array, but we're not far from the Loch Ness Monster. So, so you can ask, have you done like the little sailing around Loch Ness to go look for the monster?
Only when I was quite young. And yes, I have back then. Yes, and there's big statues of Nessie everywhere. And I remember some random Japanese tourist took a photo of me next to Nessie. I don't know if it's like a spot the monster thing. I'm not sure.
Which one? Yeah, which one is it? But here on the channel, just so that you know, prospecting, it's an extremely pro and open-minded channel. We have programs on. I have a list. So if you see me lowering my eyes, I am reading out the list I made for myself. Ooh, love werewolves. Psychics here on the channel, mediums, Bigfoot encounters, paranormal investigators, ghost hunts. We have programs dedicated to UFO hunts. So if it is esoteric, you'll find it here. I know that Chris Grizz, who runs the channel, has been on quite a few Bigfoot hunts and ghost hunts. Just in the last few weeks, they were in, I want to say, Colville. They were down the Gulf of Mexico. Were they in Texas? But so him and the team have been going all over the place. If the psychic stuff is not necessarily yours, I mean, it probably is, so stick around. But if it's not, then click below and where it says Bigfoot Outlaw, this is the entire channel. You're going to find so many things to your liking. Anybody listening on a podcast to this later on without getting to see us, also there are different playlists with all the, with each topic and with each expert. So you will have your boots full. But yeah, Missy, best name ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, werewolves. Now I'm on board. Yeah, I get that. And so I just didn't know if the Dogman was what it was, but if it's like similar to a werewolf, then yeah, that's really awesome. I did like, I can bore you all senseless now because I did my dissertation on shapeshifting, and even though I did for my master's degree, even though I did it on birds, avian shapeshifting, because there's actually quite a lot to write about one thing. I could have done all the animals, I'd be writing a massive book. But actually, the opinions on shapeshifting were so different, 1,000, 2,000 years ago. It was much more assumed that one could change their shape. Whereas now it's like reserved to horror movies or kind of extremes. But there's a more of an understanding that your shape can change, and that certain people had tendencies to take on the shape of a different animal. So and werewolves, even though now we have that as like horror movies or kind of extreme experiences, that I don't know how much they would have agreed that someone would physically become a wolf, but that their soul could inhabit a wolf or something like that was really, really interesting. Sorry, I will bore you senseless now, so I'll try.
No, that's so interesting to me. It's really exciting to me because in myths of like all the different cultures, shape-shifting is a basic a basic necessity. You've got to have it. You've got shape-shifting in, I think in Chinese is the dragon, does it shift into another thing?
The fox does as well, doesn't it? I think in Japanese, I think the fox does in Japanese shapeshift.
Amazing. And obviously in Egyptian stuff, you've got quite a few, what do you call it? Shapes, animals, like god forms that are half and half. And in Greek, you've got lots of half and half. So yeah, we've got information from prospecting saying dogmens don't change into anything.
Okay, so they are what they are.
So it would be more like Bigfoot as opposed to werewolf. So werewolf, very connected to the full moon. Sorry, and then I've got a couple here from Missy. It says Bigfoot are alleged to be psychically linked or not butter. Otter?
Butter.
Butter.
I like butter though. I think butter's Bigfoot.
I'm psychically linked to butter. And beings. And Jalian says, I love Japanese lore. Now, I think you know the Welsh myths better than me. I was actually bumped into my copy of the Mabinogi and they're looking, pristine because I've not got past page 5. Do the sort of Welsh and British traditions have a lot of sort of semi-animals or shape-shifting?
Yeah, a lot with birds as well. I mean, obviously I've been studying birds a lot, but I mean, birds and women particularly, like the swans, and there's quite and actually when I was doing the thing about the birds, it was every culture. One of their first founding traditions was women particularly shifting into bird form, and in some cultures in the north, in the kind of the Arctic regions, that they were ancestresses of the whole tribe, these bird women. So I just get very excited. And you remember you see those ancient statues of goddesses, they're often bird goddesses, aren't they? There's really old Neolithic statues. They've often got wings. So I know this is, I can get very excited about these sorts of things. It's really,
I think it's really, really interesting. It's really, really exciting. And it kind of sticks around our topic of the full moon, because with the werewolves, obviously that, change, that shapeshift in the full moon, and with women, with femininity being so connected to the moon. Anybody out there dating girls, give them a wide berth, or at least a little bit of leeway for the next 3 days or so. Any of you out there who are girls, fridge, chocolate, you got this.
Or go and howl at the moon.
Oh, look what we've got from Joshua. Laura, you're going to love it. Saying, look at the shape of America. It's the shape of a bird. We're both,
Okay, I need to go
we're
look
both
at this now.
reaching to the Google Maps. Let's see. Shape of bird.
I'm going to have to look. I don't want to Google while I'm on TV, but I'm going to Google shape of America.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love that.
Yeah, cool.
Because is it true or untrue that you're also sort of quite the expert on ley lines?
Love the ley lines. Yes, love the ley lines. Yeah.
So I think if you've got that shape of a bird, is it possible that there would be ley lines that would outline the wings, or that would outline, you know, the legs, the eyes? So yeah, so this is my deep dive for this afternoon. Thank you, Joshua.
Yeah, well, we're going to go into that. Yeah. And a lot of the ley lines here obviously connect with American, you know, and the sacred sites here, and so it all links, we're all connected in that space, which is awesome. But yeah, I wonder if there is those sort of PowerPoints and that the lines would go through them. So I'm quite curious. Yeah, we'll be lost now for the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I've never been to America, which is actually going to change because we
is it now? News.
I've never been to America, but obviously, you know, it's quite a large country, lots of people, so we know what the ancient sites are and where kind of the focal points of power would be, and it's stuff that sort of comes up again and again, and it's stuff that, you know, that the different iterations of esoteric people find themselves drawn to again and again. So, you know, when somebody says to you, oh, do you know what Mount Shasta is? Yeah, you could probably sort of write an article about it, you know, with no Google, because it's got such a lot of stories attached to it, and so many experiences that people have gone on.
Yeah, a lot of people who live in Glastonbury go between the two, Shasta and Glastonbury. They've got that there.
Yeah. I mean, Glastonbury is sort of such a magnet, like literally a magnet to everything and everyone. Anything special, says Missy. I was going to make a joke about soap, and then I thought better of it. Missy says, anything special we should focus on during the next supermoon? I'm so pleased you asked, because you're taking us back to our topic.
Yes, because we were going off into...
Yeah. We were on the plane, we were gone. But yeah, so Laura, what are your plans for the next supermoon?
Well, yeah, I absolutely think that this is such a big time. You know, usually on a full moon, we'll be like, okay, what do I want to manifest? What do I want to do? But I think because this feels like such a precipice, like such a chapter change, I really feel like look at the things that have been coming up for you. Look at where you want to direct your life for the next good few years, and start plant those seeds or get the ideas going. And actually almost maybe even actively work on the things you're stepping away from, putting those boundaries up. You know, it's taking that action towards not just the next few months, but I feel like, you know, if there's something you put on the back burner for a long time, but you're desperate to do, start doing the thing. It's not a tomorrow job. It's like now to start inhabiting the life that you really want to live. So that could just be enrolling on something, taking a first step. There's no pressure to suddenly change the world on Friday, you know, but there's a little bit of an opportunity, a window opening to go, my heart wants this, or start doing it. Whatever that is, just start going, okay, well, maybe I will start to learn to sing. Maybe I'll start to enroll on this course, or whatever, do a workout, whatever it is. I think it's a great time to start thinking that bigger picture of where you really, truly feel drawn. And sometimes if you're so busy, you don't even have the time to think about where you're drawn to. So it could even be just taking a step back to go, hold the phone, where am I? What's working, what's not? And just jigging your priorities. What would you say?
So for me, I love the full moon cycle of how, you know, the full moon is always the exact opposite sign to the sign that we're in right now, because I'm Pisces. I'm a dreamer. I need to dream of the future in order to be able to, you know, to drag myself into the future kicking and screaming rather than living in the past, which is so much more appealing. So this full moon in Taurus, I'm insanely excited about, because I admire the sign of Taurus. It is grounded, it's safe, it knows how to treat itself when it
Yeah.
wants to. It knows how to keep warm. It knows how to keep cozy. It knows how to build a nest egg. So for me, this supermoon in Taurus is really sort of the time, like the beaver, to start kind of building what you'll be living in. So it's, really exactly the same as what you were saying. Put in the job application, put in the I quit letter, sign up for the program, pick up a new hobby. You don't know, maybe this hobby will be your career. Do something practical and really sort of in keeping with the Taurus. Don't forget to treat yourself. And I've got this kind of personal hurdle to overcome with Taurus, because my only brother is a Taurus, and families are difficult. So in my Pisces romantic view, Taurians can be sort of so hard and boundaried and that, but this is such a great time to learn how to put a boundary, how to say, I'm not coming because I can't come. I'm not coming because I don't want to come. I'm not coming because I'm not coming. There's, further questions not necessary. And it's something that I really love to be able to incorporate in myself. So if you know me, you know that I do have some fairly, okay boundaries, but it's not natural. It's not a birth talent. And it's something that I have to keep working on continuously. So that's another kind of Taurus, what do you call it? Taurus trait
Gift.
that I would like to incorporate.
I think it'll be a whole topic on another day on boundaries. It's such an important one, isn't it, to work on? And just for the full moon, just to say that if you don't know how to do it, just put yourself first. Just say, what do you need, rather than other people's. Just for the full moon, just experiment on putting your needs, your desires. Okay, as long as it's safe, of course. Like if you have kids, you need to put their stuff first. But like, if you've got a choice of, doing things for other people actually, or just having a nice bath, having a cake and a nice evening in, doing something that will make you feel nurtured, then choose you for the full moon and see how that goes.
Choose you for the full moon. Wow, that is such a slogan. Choose you for the full moon.
I choose you.
It almost rhymes, but in a way that's even sexier than a rhyme. I love it. Choose you for the full moon. It's funny because this full moon, rather than sort of staying at home and sort of lighting a candle for it, there's like a little meeting from people that I used to sort of work my last TV job. And in a very kind of full moon and Taurus way, I was like, I don't think I can bother to go. I have slippers and a nice fluffy dressing gown, and they would be sort of so much more comfy. But a friend has said, oh, come on, just go. And she's so much like a children's entertainer, the vibe. And she was like, come on, let's go. It'll be fun. And I was like, okay, I'll go if you go, which again, I think is such a Taurus thing to say. Be my safety net there, so that I know there is somebody there who can talk if I want to fall silent. I mean, fat chance, but it would be so amazing. And I think in a way that still kind of choose you, because a big reason why I don't want to leave is because I think, well, the children might not make it, because my partner is the kind of person that sort of that has a nap at the slightest provocation, and in literally any scenario. So we could walk in, he's curled up in the kitchen on the floor snoring. So whenever I have to like leave the house to do something fun, I think they might not make it. But no, I want to choose you. I want to choose me for the full moon. Put a glittery dress on and go out. Go
beautiful
out, and and enjoy it and take lots of selfies.
I approve.
Thank you. So now I know it's like witch approved. Laurie Sue is giving us a nice reminder, saying, in reference to Mount Shasta, many cults claim they specifically and they only hold the one connection to its spiritual connection. I think we can get that with Glastonbury as well, right? It's wise, she says, to step back, consider the source, etc. I love that reminder because the universality, of sacredness, of divinity, of the spark is the most important thing about it. The universe is nothing if not inclusive. We're all living in it.
I know. And yeah, I definitely understand that mentality is quite prevalent here in the UK with certain places as well. And it's always like it's the land speaking. It's not. It's listen to the land, listen to the land. It's we kind of try to own things and make things special and exclusive, but it's the land and it's there for everyone, like you were saying. So yeah, thank you for that.
I tell you a funny thing. So when maybe 8 years ago, my dad took us on like a full guided tour with the kids. There was 3 of them at the time, not 4, on a full guided tour with an amazing tour guide in Jerusalem. Jerusalem belongs to everybody, but everybody sort of wants it. So there's like literally dozens of churches, and there's the Ethiopian church next to the Eritrean church. There's a Scottish church and the Scottish what do you call it, boarding school, where they've got like the school uniform that we have here over there, roasting heat. So there's like church by church by church by church by church. And the tour guide was like, oh, and this is the ladder. And we're like, what is the ladder? We came, we didn't come prepared. And she said that at a time of 3 churches were doing renovation. And one of the work people had left a ladder when the renovations had finished, but it was on the ledge that belonged to one church in a space that belonged to one of the other churches. And it was in between about 3 churches, and no one could get the permit to move that ladder. And that ladder has been there for literally over 100 years. It has a Wikipedia page and everything. And that is sort of when we bring people and their issues into sacredness, into holiness. Guys, just gather around. Do you want the ladder there? Do you not want the ladder there? Let's move the ladder on. And in a way, I think Mount Shasta and Glastonbury are just sort of getting a small taste of how bonkers it can get when it's like fully universal.
Yeah. Hi, John.
We've got a nice hi from Moon Moggy John. Jalian suggests that we climb the ladder. You can't get into it. You've got to get through a window, and the ladder has been there since before health and safety rules, which I remember, but you might not. Laurie Sue saying that's an example of religion ruling politics, though, and also politics ruling religion while we're on the subject. Laurie Sue, you're in Scotland, right? So what is like the top, I suppose, stone circle or sacred space? We did mention Loch Ness earlier, but that's kind of from a different a different perspective.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love Scotland. I just love to know whereabouts you are as well, Laurie. If you don't have to share, obviously, it's pretty personal. But it's just a beautiful land full of magic, isn't it? Oh, you're in the US.
Oh, in the US. Sorry, I mixed you up with somebody else. Sorry, Laurie Sue. Also, no reading requests have come in yet, but in about 5-10 minutes, we're going to start doing a few tarot readings. We'll get like 3-4 of you done. So if you want to send in questions, get cracking, do them right now. And I'm going to put them in my little readings folder. Did you realize, Laura, I'll bet you did, that next month, December, we've got 2 new moons?
Oh, right. I actually hadn't looked into next month. I'm like living by the breath of the day at the moment.
Want to make it to the end of Thursday. That's like the full ambition.
Yes, this is the mission. Yeah.
I started sort of searching around with it because I got all excited when we had the new moon at the same time of Halloween-ish. So Halloween, Samhain, is 31st of October, and then the new moon was the 1st of November. And I was like, ooh, are we going to have another new moon in November? And I was super disappointed. It's like this. Super disappointed to see just the one new moon, but I turned the page in my trusty ephemeris, and we've got a new moon on the 1st of December, which will be a new moon in Sagittarius, and then a new moon in Capricorn on the 30th of December. So I've been excited about it for for 2 weeks counting now. I don't see the excitement going away.
No, I don't. It's why get rid of excitement? It's
It's all very, very positive.
Oh,
Lena says my birthday's Friday. Can I get a card? Should we jump and do it straight away?
yeah, it's the birthday card. Subliminally, yeah. Friday, so you're the full moon birthday. What a day for you to get like all the magic going. Okay, let's have a look. Oh. Shall I start with or just wait for it?
Have you got something good there? Shall I start?
Yeah, I'll hold the good.
All right. Oh, good. Because I'm starting low. I'm lowballing Lena now. Look, it's the 9 of Wands, and the 9 of Wands is saying you can and you will get through this. You are strong enough. And what the 9 of Wands is telling you there for your birthday is, you know that the months that are coming are not easy. You're fully anticipating for them to not be easy. Do as much journaling as you can. Write things down so that then you can go back and at least learn from the times that had challenged you. You're going to have to be in contact and be shoulder to shoulder with people who are not exactly your kind of people. And that's okay. You'll learn from it. You'll become stronger from it. Whenever we have a card that represents strength, I get suspicious because I think, well, great. But what experiences exactly is this telling me that you're going to have to go through in order to exercise that strength, in order to, in order to utilize it. So I'm telling you from now, it's not going to be easy. You can get through this. You will be wiser when you have got through this. Laura has got some better stuff for you, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I can't just pull one card. I really try, and then my hands go, no, I can't. So first of all, this is what everyone has been getting recently: the Judgment card, and this is part of the Pluto transition. So it's like it's coming up in every reading. People ask, shall I take my car to the MOT? It's like no one's asking that because of but I'm just saying about like, oh, I'm going to the hairdresser's, Pluto. So it's like it's coming up for everybody because look at that. I just the light's shining very bright in here at the moment, but there is this absolute transformation times, and there's tides of so much going on. And what I love about this card is there's lots of little other light bringing people on the other mountaintops. So I'm saying connecting with those that share your vision of like, or connecting with people that share what you feel is right about the world, because there's going to, we're all going to be feeling a lot of shifts going on and all over the world in different ways, but also personally. So it might feel a bit of a mixed bag itself on your birthday, because it's like, oh, wow, all this is going on at the moment. It might even feel like a natural day to celebrate. I would also say pick another day to have second birthday, second breakfast, second birthday, because you are actually going to enter a week or so of absolute awesomeness. So, maybe the weekend over, like maybe Sunday or Monday, have a season, because the full moon is coinciding with that whole Pluto transformation, and it's epic, and you'll always remember it, but it might be a bit like, oh wow, there's a lot going on. But what you've got coming in for the next week or so is the Sun card, which is the happiest, most joyful. The sun is even shining on the screen really brightly at the moment. It's the most happy, joyful energy, and it's showing you a new chapter is coming in, the Three of Wands. So you coming into a time of alignment and opportunities. So maybe see your birthday as a bit like, okay, let's what's coming in. There's a lot of change. Ride the tides of the things you want to bring in, but maybe also choose second breakfast day, to have a bit of an easier time, a lovely lunch on Sunday. Just give yourself some extra things to come in rather than the pressure of tomorrow, because it'll be big, but it might just be a bit of a lot tomorrow, but there's some beautiful things coming in. So maybe set your intentions for where you want to go.
Ah, that's very, very exciting. And have a fabulous birthday. Maybe towards the end, we'll sing you a little happy birthday as we go. Laura, as you know, is actually a musician. I am not. So this will be fun. Moon Monkey John sent a very curious message that says, sorry, I prefer to keep my head in the sand. Many thanks.
About what? Or just generally? I mean, that's also fine. Well, I'm missing some conversation, but
yeah, absolutely.
Why not? Why not?
and Lena is very excited. I'm excited about it being the frost moon, because as much as I've enjoyed, we've had a very nice, long, warm, rainless autumn, which never happens here.
No,
and just the last
no rain this year. No rain. I don't want any rain this autumn.
Yeah, I'm 100% cool with the no rain, but it has got chilly. It has got chilly in the last couple of days, and it's kind of cute.
Yeah, it is. And because last year I didn't feel like we had that winter. Yeah, it just rained, because I say no rain because I was in a flat last year that was flooding, so the rain was coming inside. So I have a little bit of trauma about rainy autumns. But obviously I've moved house. But but I just remember last year was just rain and no sort of real crispy, frosty, autumny, wintery days. And I think that's what I like. Yeah, I like the idea of that being winter here. Yes.
Yeah. Lena says we call it Beaver Moon here. Yeah.
You missed our Beaver chat, Lena.
Yeah, you missed the Beaver chat, and how much joy we got from saying the word beaver again and again.
I was talking about the animals, you know.
Still such a fun word. Right, Moon Monkey John says happy to watch. Okay, so that links with prefer to keep my head in the sand.
Yeah. That's fine, of course.
No, honestly, I feel that so much. And even as somebody who sits with a deck of tarot in her hand most of the day, and certainly every day, there are times when I think I'm definitely not doing a reading for myself about that. Nope.
No,
things will turn out as they need to turn out.
Yeah, I get that too. And go through periods of time where it's literally every day I need a card, and then go for a year of going, oh no, we're good. Let's leave that one.
Absolutely, absolutely fine. You need a little break from the constant wisdom. We had another question come in, which I think you're going to adore the name of, from Ladybird Starseed.
Love a ladybird.
Ladybird. Ladybird, like the
I love
thingy.
Them. The insects, they're so lovely.
But also a lady and a bird.
Just all the winds. All the winds.
Which we also covered earlier. Yeah. You want to rewatch the beginning? We were, killing it.
We went places, from werewolves to beavers. We went there. So I would say.
Not overlooking the birds, the ladies,
the lovely birds. I got excited about the birds.
Now I'm going to be looking for like bird-like features the next time I go through British Museum. That an extra layer.
Yes.
Also, I think it's always worth dropping it in the conversation. But did you guys know that Laura was actually a special advisor on British Museum exhibitions?
I realized last week, I was like, I totally forgot to mention that. I was like,
it just occurred to me that really, if I had that on my resume, I'd be opening conversations with that. That would be my opener. The fact that it took us so long to get to it, tell.
Yeah, honestly, that was my dream opportunity. So there was 2 exhibitions in 2022. which were very linked to, well, a lot of them are linked to pagan or kind of witchy energy, but these were particularly, there was one, the Stonehenge exhibition, which is like the world of Stonehenge, so how everything was, as many things that we could find at that time. And so my part of that was like as a pagan and discussing what Stonehenge means and the rituals that we do now around Stonehenge. So that was, and it was such an amazing exhibition, and I really, I love being a part of that. But the main one that we got invited to was one about the divine feminine. And that was like they wanted witches to talk about the goddess, and I had quite a big part in that not only was I talking about witchcraft and the witch trials and the witch hunts, but also about different goddesses and how in art that goddesses or witches are depicted. And I actually ran some workshops at the British Museum, or co-ran some workshops at the British Museum about the goddess. So that was really blooming awesome.
It is such an incredible thing for you to have been involved in. I'm just so proud of you. I was in British Museum as a customer and took a picture of your name. That's how excited I was.
I took a picture of my name. I got every time, me. Have you seen standing by the sign? Me.
Oh, no. I've got photos of my children next to your name. Can you go and pose next to Auntie Laura's name? Look, point at it, click, 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 click.
I think it's a power of manifestation as well, that you can love something so much. Like I've always loved the British Museum. When I was living in London, I'd go there every free minute I had you can love something so much, you attract it. It's a good full moon magic. I'd never intended anything, but you could just sometimes love something so much that it just ends up coming to you in some ways.
I really think that makes a brilliant full moon magic, because, as much as we were saying that every full moon is for manifesting, wouldn't this be something spectacular for like a Taurus full moon? Because there's something about Taurus that is just so extra, that is just so epic. And because we're in the time of Scorpio, which is always the case in a Taurus full moon, Scorpio will have secret, mysterious ways of getting things and finding things. And if you really want to manifest something absolutely impossible, tomorrow is a good time to do it.
I love that. Yes. Also, I got Lady Bird's.
Yeah, Ladybird Starseed. What do I need to know from Spirit right now?
I did actually shuffle the cards really well, but I love that you got the Sun and the Temperance card coming up. I really feel like sometimes the cards just love that kind of question, like, oh, they want to know what Spirit wants to tell us. Like, right, let's queue up and tell them. And you got these two major arcana cards. So the Sun is beautiful. And I think we were saying this earlier about this invitation to be more of a leader, to go out there, to show the world, to shine your light to the world. And that doesn't have to be, again, any pressure, but it does mean maybe saying yes to new things that come into your life. It's not like Inbaal was saying earlier about, well, I could just stay at home with my slippers on. But actually, sometimes in those times, it's like, no, go and do the thing, get out there, be seen, let whatever brings you fire and passion and joy. I just on this card, you're just being led around this place to somewhere that's special to us. So just know that even a small step of this opening might lead you somewhere really special. But the Temperance card as well, saying there's something really shifting with you and something really awakening, and there's a real magic starting to happen in your life. So Spirit wants you to listen. They want you to listen, to kind of follow through with the things that you don't put your spirituality off, like we often put it at the back of the pile. Follow through, give yourself some time to focus on your spiritual path, give yourself some time tomorrow to create a little ritual, to create magic. Again, no huge pressure, but those little steps right now can create something really awesome for you.
Amazing. So I've got a real match with what I've got, because it says to you, Ladybird Starseed, that there's something that you started a long time ago, and you've got to get to the end of it. And the end of it is like, it's no fun. It's a drag. But that's something that you started a long time ago, is very, very small time. The next chapter in your life is huge. It's big time. And in order for that next stage to start, you need to drag yourself through the last few teeny tiny chores of the small time, so that it's tied up nicely and left in the past where it belongs. So let yourself go through all the stuff that you really don't fancy doing at this moment, because by going through the final few steps of that, pointless thing from the past, which was not pointless then, it was very pointful back then, but through doing that, you're enabling a really spectacular future. And so it shows you sort of climbing to the top of your game in something that might not be so interesting for you anymore, but do it, because once you're at the top of that game, the game after is like an all singing, all dancing extravaganza. So Ladybird is telling us that she is listening from San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, lovely. Beautiful. Must be very early there as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be. And Moon Moggy John is saying Laura is a star witch.
Oh,
Laura
thank you, John.
Star witch.
Thank you.
And Lena says, you both have beautiful, uplifting energy. Great way to start my morning. Thank you both, lovelies. No, thank you.
Yes, absolutely lovely.
What have you got there? But now frog. Oh, I frog. Yeah.
And then on the other side, large dose of good magic, aka coffee.
I love that. And it's not that you're so teeny tiny. It really is sort of quite a big.
No, it's about the size of my head. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like, it could block me out. It could have been an eclipse of the Laura.
It's the size of a head that advised on British Museum. Actually, on that trip to British Museum, I got this. This is the centenary.
Ooh. Oh, yes. Yes.
The Atlantis bookshop, 100 years.
Wow.
And this is, you know, like it was a trip with the children. And I really do wonder whether one day one of them will say, you know, how come we got driven to London to go and look at the Assyrian artifacts and take our picture next to, you know, Laura Daligan's name, and our special thing to do was going into the Atlantis bookshop to congratulate the owner for making it through 100 years. I mean, she's not 100. But
that'd be a big congratulations if she was still winning.
Yeah, it would be. But it was, you know, but it was owned by her dad. Ladybird is saying, yes, I picked the sun card yesterday. Thank you for the confirmation. Beautiful advice and wisdom.
Absolutely,
right, amazing.
Feeling
Thank
that
you
one
so much.
Yay.
Thank you everybody that joined us for the first time today. So Moon Moggy John I haven't seen before, Ladybird I haven't seen before, Jalian I haven't seen before, except for in my DMs this morning.
So yeah, there's thanks for the hopefully this will be our second breakfast psychic brunch. If I just say it enough times, it gets called second breakfast. But then if you're not into Lord of the Rings, then what, you know, it still means something. It still means something.
Yeah, I think a second breakfast is, you know, international. if you can, you absolutely should.
Live the Hobbit life. I think it's very Taurian as well, Hobbit life, you know, 2 breakfasts. Yeah.
Thank you, Moon Moggy John. So we're coming towards the end of the show. Shall we sing a happy birthday to Lena?
Oh, yes. Everyone join in at home so we can all feel it
together. Yeah, put some like emoji messages for the happy birthday, so I can flick them up while we are singing, which will be sort of much more of a contribution than my voice. Yeah. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Lena. Happy birthday to you.
Yay! You don't have to say what age it is, but is it a big one? Is it an important one? Is it an angel number one? There's always, you know, when you're like a numbers geek, you get excited about any numbers. They can be angel numbers. They can be like divisible by 12. Very important for some reason in my world.
My maths is so bad. Divisible by what now?
Divisible by 12. I don't know why, but the numbers like 12, 24, 36, and 48 are like really, really special in my mind.
That's cool. That's great.
Oh, Lena says 52 this year. Oh, in my imagination, you were such a fresh little thing. Jeannie Garden saying hi from South UK. Where in South UK? You're in South UK. I'm in
South UK. You're in North UK. I'm in the Southwest.
We're stitching up the country. Twisted. So my 52 thing for you is there's a clip from, I think it's from the Sex and the City movie, where Samantha needs to go to a premiere and Carrie takes her to a dress shop, and Carrie says to the sales girl, we're looking for like a great dress. And Samantha says, and we found it. And the sales girl says, isn't that a little young? And Samantha says, I don't know. How old do you think I am? And in that scene, she then says she's 52, but between 50 and 2, she also says a word that we're not allowed to say. So look that up. or I'll find it for you. Fabulous. So my plans for the full moon. I know your plans for the full moon.
Yeah.
And then we've got that kind of descent from the full moon onwards, for 2 whole weeks for the rest of the month while the moon is shrinking.
Yeah, the roll rights. Yeah, I think, and next week's gonna be quite a big week. So I think we'll just see how we are rolling next week, won't we, with everything? See how we're doing.
I'm sure we're going to be 100% fine. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for our psychic brunch and yours. We'll be here next week with you with a brand new topic. Nobody knows what until
it's a mystery. It's a mystery.
or after. But we really appreciate you giving us that fun opportunity to share those special moments with you. And we will see you next week. Have a fabulous full moon tomorrow.
Happy full moon.
Bye.